Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Happy Thursday, everybody. It is very cold. Today I had to wrap myself with a blanket just to keep warm a little bit. Today we are on day number 115 and the title is Rebuilding with Purpose, Restore What Matters the Most. So Joash rebuilt the temple. Elisha's bones revived the dead man. And Joash won battles. Jehoash won battles, but lost the chance for more. Amaziah let pride destroy what obedience had built. Let's rebuild our lives with faith, wisdom, and purpose, spiritually in our families, health, as well in our finances. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Naftali Ranto, and I'm speaking to you today from Bloemfontein. It is very cold. It is freezing outside. You don't want to experience what is going on. And us from Limpopo is worse here because we are not used to such temperatures. I've been here for years, but I never get used to this torture that we get here in winter time. So yeah, we are reading today the book of 2 Kings chapter 12 up to 14. And as we said, rebuilding responsibility and results. That is our main heading for these 3 chapters that we are going to read. So when we check chapter by chapter summary and the application thereof in our lives, when we check 2 Kings chapter 12, it's talking about Joash repairing the temple. Joash's earthly faithfulness, verse 1 to 3. Joash begins his reign at age 7 and does the right thing in God's eyes, guided by the priest Jehoiada. However, the high places with places of idol worshipping were not removed, and that became a trap. So the temple restoration as an effort. So verse 4 to 16, Joash initiates a temple repair project using offerings from the people. Honest priest manages the resources and the restoration work begins. And then the third point on this chapter, political pressure and compromise. When you check verse number 17 to 21, King Hazael of Aram threatens Jerusalem, and Jehoash gives sacred temple treasures as a tribute to avoid the conflict, something that was supposed not to happen. So the life application, spiritual purpose, restoration begins with reverence for God's house and priorities. So family legacy, Joash was mentored by his spiritual father figure, which was Jehoiada, emphasizing the power of godly mentorship. That is why we are here, to mentor as many people as possible into living a life of purpose. Financial principle, stewardship and transparency lead to communal progress, but compromise with the enemy weaken the purpose that we're supposed to be living. So 2 Kings chapter 13, the need for consistent leadership and faith. So Jehoahaz's reign, verse 1 to 9, you will find that Israel suffered under Hazael because of the sin. And Jehoash pleads with God, and God grants temporary relief due to the compassion that he had on them. And Jehoash, son of Jehoahaz, reigns. In verse number 10 to 25, Elisha the prophet became sick and he died. But even in death, his bones revived. A man that was thrown, or dead body that was thrown onto his bones. And before he died, he let this king to shoot some arrows, but he did not do it very well. So Jehoash defeated Aram 3 times, just as Elisha has prophesied, but could have done more if he had greater faith. So he was told to shoot, and he only shot 3 times on the ground, and he stopped. Then the man of God said, you will only overcome them 3 times, and the rest of the time they will whoop you. And life application, even flawed leaders can cry out to God and receive mercy. And in terms of health, God's power is so great that even Elisha's bones restored the life of that man. A call to seek the power of faith and healing. And finance and family, lack of faith and weak vision can limit breakthrough. Boldness and full obedience open the way for us to receive more from the Lord. 2 Kings 14 makes the legacies of leadership. Amaziah reigns in Judah, verse 1 to 22. start strong but execute by executing justice but not revenge. So he becomes prideful after military victory and pick an unnecessary fight with Israel leading to Jerusalem's walls being broken and treasures being taken. So Jeroboam the second reigns in Israel. When you check verse 23 to 29, Jeroboam restores Israel's borders as prophesied by prophet Jonah. Remember Jonah? We are still going to talk about him later on. So yet he continues in idolatry, failing to bring full spiritual reform. Life application: in terms of spiritual, pride in leadership brings downfall, and stay humble and obedient to God's voice all the time. In terms of family, leading with justice but without wisdom can endanger our society or the legacy that you have. So in terms of finance, poor decision making leads to loss of national treasures. Wise choices secure generational wealth. So ladies and gentlemen, key takeaways for you to live a life of purpose. In terms of spiritually, restoration starts with the house of God and the heart of the leader. And when we need mentors and prophets who will guide us into purpose. And God's mercy is greater than men's failures, but we must act with bold, complete faith for us to tap into that. In terms of family, like Joash and Jehoiada, mentorship within the family and faith community is very crucial. Raising leaders requires consistent guidance, not just good beginnings. What tells us you are who you are is not how you start, but how you finish. So leadership rooted in pride causes family and community damages. Humility preserves the legacy. In terms of health, the story of Elisha's bones reviving a man shows that God's healing power defies natural limits. Even if you are dead, your bones are still blessed. A faith-filled environment cultivates spiritual and physical restoration. And leaders must prioritize spiritual and mental well-being to finish well in life. So ladies and gentlemen, in terms of finances, finally, proper stewardship of offerings led to the successful restoration of the temple. Corrupt or fearful compromise, as seen in Joash, led or leads to loss of sacred treasures. And national and family rise or fall financially based on leadership decisions. So it's very important as a leader to make sure you are aligned properly with the Lord. Because if that happens, then your decisions will be guided by the Almighty. And final remarks or closing inspiration: rebuild with purpose. From now on, make sure you strive to rebuild with purpose your life. You have been building by yourself. May you start to rebuild your life with God. Just like Joash rebuilt the temple, God is calling us to rebuild our spiritual foundations, families, health, and finances as well today. So don't settle for partial victories. Don't give in to fear or pride. Be courageous, be wise, and rebuild with full obedience and faith. So ladies and gentlemen, if you are new to this Bible study, please locate the previous sessions we had. We started in the beginning of this year. And on the 17th of January, we started, and we are continuing until we complete the whole Bible in a period of a year, 365 days. We're just going to read as the Bible is written from Genesis to Revelations. We will be taking it one day at a time until we complete the whole Bible. But take some time to read, take some time to pray. It's going to be cold, it's going to be hot, but we are going to continue with the Bible study because this is the commitment we have made. When the Lord says do something, you do it no matter what. You are not going to tell me, no, today I don't feel like reading the Bible. Put God first in your life and you will see how great it's going to elevate you. It is not easy to record this early in the morning now. It is just before, I think it's just after 5 to 6 now. And I'm here. It is very cold, but we are doing it because we know, we have seen what the Lord is able to do in our lives. So we want to share the same experience with you. And may God bless you and your family. Have a wonderful Thursday and stay warm. Drink something warm because you need that warmth for you to stay healthy. May God bless you and have a great day until we meet again tomorrow on Friday. Bye-bye.